What's happening, everybody? Jim Laird joining you live from Grand Pacifica, Nicaragua, right on my front porch right here. Just hanging out. You know, beautiful day today. So I feel like I beat a dead horse sometimes, but that's fine. I mean, this stuff needs to be repeated until somebody figures it out. Even if I only help one or two people, I'm totally fine with that. I put a link to a post I made on Instagram. It was a guy named Derek Hansen, who's a great track and field coach. Somebody I follow, puts out great information. Uh, he had a great chart, and Coach Summer and I did a whole episode on this, on GPP, the importance of general physical preparedness and what is happening. And in the reality of modern competitive sports, the competition season has been expanded. The GPP, general physical preparedness, which is basically working on just general qualities of fitness, athleticism, non-specific training, has been dramatically shortened, like i.e. the off season. And we have gotten so specific with the training. And there's some really, don't get me wrong, there's really, really high school skilled kids out there. But the consequences of this are going to even be more dire because children are just not playing outside anymore. They're just not getting out in nature. They're not being active at all. And then they're being pushed into these highly skilled programs, and their body finds a way to survive it. But that's one of the reasons why so many people, so many kids are getting injured. You're seeing ACLs at an absurd age of like 11, 12. I mean, I've seen multiple ACL injuries with people with kids. I mean, 11, 12, 13 years old. And that was just unheard of when I was growing up. You never heard of anyone blowing out an ACL when I was growing up. Because children learned how to move on their own. They played tag, they climbed fences, they learned how to jump off a picnic table and land appropriately. No one had to teach them. It was all figured out on their own. And then they build this amazing aerobic engine from hours and hours of low level riding bikes and playing outside. You can't make up for that. Like, you can't make up for children not playing. That's what children are supposed to do. They're supposed to figure out their nervous system, strengthen their skeletal muscular system through activity and through movement. There's actually, if you get online, you can Google. They've figured out that children that don't spend a lot of time in nature have a much higher rate of depression and anxiety as an adult. And so we're pulling kids inside, we're putting them on screens, we're getting them away from being active, and then we're throwing them into highly advanced, specific sports training programs. And sure, some kids are going to do great. That top end of the curve is going to do wonderful. But the vast majority of kids are just going to break. And because in the United States, there's so much diversity in talent, in genetics, there's unlimited supply of bodies, you're just going to, next up. Now, some of the other countries that don't have these giant populations are having to be a little smarter with the way they do things, right? And so something's going to have to change. And what's going to have to change is the strength and conditioning programs are going to start to look more and more like general physical, like just phys ed, because there is no phys ed anymore and kids just don't play on their own. And so, I would get great results taking a team and just running them through general calisthenics, bear crawls, carries, pushing sleds, medicine ball throws, and just improving their overall fitness of their body. Instead of doing all the specific work that they needed. A lot of the kids didn't have the aerobic capacity to handle the intensity. They had very high resting heart rates. A lot of them had a hard time relaxing because they were having to use strategies that were emergency style strategies to do very basic low level activities. So there's just a few thoughts on that topic. If you've got kids, get them outside, let them play, put them in multiple sports. Don't rush it. The chances of your kid playing professional as a professional athlete are few and far between. So you want to use activity to develop the habits. They should play some sort of sport. I don't care what it is. They need to learn how to compete. They need to learn how to show up. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be ultimate frisbee. It could be archery. I don't care. But some sort of activity where they're doing different things. Uh, when I was in school in phys ed in Canada, we literally played everything. We did curling, badminton, racquetball, squash, volleyball, basketball. We learned and did every single sport there was just to learn how to do it and to teach the brain different things. And that's how the brain moves. The brain learns. That's how the brain moves. Yeah, that's how the brain moves. That's how the brain learns. The brain learns through movement. You know, that's how you develop your brain. And so we're really taking a huge part of development away from children today. And something's going to have to change. And hopefully a lot of people in the strength and conditioning field will fill this gap in and start, having play-based programs for kids. A lot of the parents are the reason a lot of this stuff doesn't fly, because they want their Johnny to work on, batting specific practice, or they want Johnny throwing curveballs at 11, or, so a lot of times the parents get in the way even more than the actual coaches themselves. So I'm just going to keep beating the drum about this stuff, and hopefully there'll be enough people that'll listen, put their kids in multiple sports, give them time off, let them be kids, let them play, to get them outside a lot more, and hopefully we can turn the tides on this thing. Lee Taft has been done a great job about bringing aware to this, to basketball and the whole racket of the AAU, and how it's not best for the development of most players in basketball. So how travel basketball is such a really a crock. And you could go check him out. You just type in Lee Taft. He's been around for ages. Great guy. He's in Florida. Does a wonderful job. Incredible coach. So he'd be a good guy to follow. So I hope you guys have yourself a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this turned out okay. I did it on my phone. We're figuring the internet out here. It's been hit and miss lately, and I'm trying to find some solutions to make it more consistent. I'm trying to get the upstairs part of my room. Right now, I don't get very good internet upstairs. Trying to figure out a way to get Ethernet up there, a plug-in, so I don't have to use Wi-Fi. But that's consistent. I can set my office up so I can consistently do interviews with higher quality video, higher quality audio that I don't get dropped on. So have yourself a great day. Make sure you go check out nikabarbell.com. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.